Hey everyone, it's Jason with KW Lakes, and today we're going to be recording a short video on how to access and use document templates in Transaction Desk. All right, so this is going to be a great scenario for if you're either getting ready for a buyer representation appointment or a listing appointment, or say you're getting ready to write an offer for a client and you forgot what paperwork to use, or not even forgot, but you just don't want to have to collect it all and put all this paperwork together. Well, we have created several templates that you can use with a couple clicks of a button that are going to auto put in all of the documents you need for any of those cases I just laid out. So in order to access these documents, first we're going to go to Northstar MLS.com and we're going to click on Matrix Login. So it'll likely ask you for your NERDS number, your password, you know, all that good stuff. It might auto log me in because I was just in here like a second ago. Sometimes it saves. Let's see. Yep, it just let me right in. But you might see a login page. Okay, I'm just going to read that later. Now, a couple ways to access Transaction Desk. Number one, you can just click this link right here. If you have this external links widget on your screen, you can go ahead and click that. Otherwise, you can also navigate to Tools. Scroll down to where it says Transaction Desk. Okay. So you will likely see a page like this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new transaction. So I'm going to put in the name. So for this case, we're going to do a buyer rep, and then I'll do another example if we were to put together a purchase agreement. Just know the process for buyer reps or listing reps, it's exactly the same, just some different paperwork. So for name, if it's a buyer rep I'm doing, I normally put in the person's name. This I'm just going to put test template. And these are these templates I was talking about. So you probably won't have these ones, but you will see these certainly. So I want to make sure we have the most recent version, which will be the dated one here. So we're going to do KW Lakes Buyer Representation Agreement 923. Okay, I do not need to import any data, but we will come back to this when it's time to put together our purchase agreement. And then I want to be assigned as the buyer's agent. Great. All right. So this is going to take a minute to load. Here we are. Now, this transaction wizard here becomes a lot more useful when we're putting together a purchase agreement or an offer on a property. For this, we're going to pretty much skip through all these pages. And I'll come back and comment on these in the second part of the video. So skip. Now, you might want to add contacts if you are doing electronic signatures. You want to add these people to your contacts. However, if you're operating like me, I'm typically going to meet people at the home or they're going to meet me at the office. We're having an in-person appointment, and I like to present the paperwork right there on the spot, so I typically just print out copies. So I'll come back again in the second half and show you how to add these contacts, but for now, we're going to assume that we're using physical copies of this paper. Next. Here we have our forms. So this is everything we need. This is that template I was talking about. So in this includes your agency representation agreement, your disclosures, waivers of acceptance, for your protection, get a home inspection disclosure, and the exclusive buyer representation contract. Because without that, you ain't got nothing. All right. So we're going to click next. It gives us an opportunity to add any other documents we want to add. I don't need any for this, so I'm going to click done. And now here we have it, right? Here's our transaction, right? This is all of our forms here, and this is everything you're going to need. Now, if we wanted to print all these out, well, first thing we're going to do is you can click right here and you can edit them, right? So I'm going to click, for example, the exclusive buyer rep. Click right here. It'll give us a chance to edit this. You will see that a lot of things are already filled out for you, but of course there are going to be some specifics you have to fill out, like the date, the buyer's names, the duration of this contract. Now typically I do a year. October 12th, I just do a nice even 12 months, let them know it won't take that long, but I don't like to do math, so I just change one number. All right, 0, 2.7 in this case, 0. You get the drill, right? We'll go through, fill this out, and this is a different training. But just know, fill it out. It saves automatically, right? So I can just go right back home if I wanted. It's going to save what I did. If I come back in here, I can click and see that it's saved. Now, if we want to print these out, we're going to click Go to Forms. I'm just going to select all, click on the little basket right here, and then I'm simply just going to click Print. And these will print all these out for me. Now, we're going to go back, and now I'm going to show you what we do in the case of writing an offer. It's a little bit different. We get to use that wizard a little bit, and wizards are like super cool mythical creatures or people. I don't really know what they are, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to go create a new transaction, and this one I'm just going to call Purchase Agreement. Offer test. Okay. Template. We're going to do KW Lake's Purchase Agreement. Now here, we actually are going to import data. So I'm going to select North Star listing data as the source of our data, because that's our MLS. And then I'm going to paste in an MLS number. I've already had, oops, that's not an MLS number. Let's see here. I need to find a house. Any old house will do. Recent searches, sure. And there's one. Okay. Looks decent. So I'm going to take this MLS number here. This is the house we're writing on in this scenario. I'm going to paste it right there. Still going to be the buyer's agent. I'm going to click Create. All right. So in this scenario, we see, since we did add that MLS number, it already auto-filled all of the properties information from the MLS in here. Fantastic. We're going to go ahead and click Next. We can also add dates. Now, typically, personally, I like to just add these dates in as I'm putting the purchase agreement together. However, you can add these dates like closing date, stuff like that. Again, with me, I just do it as I go. So I typically leave this blank. But again, it's just how your workflow is. It's probably better to do it this way. It's just what I do. I don't know. So next. Contacts. Here we're going to add contacts. So one nice thing is we can see this is already brought in the co-brokers, all their information from the MLS. Now I want to add my clients. So if they're not already in your contacts here in Transaction Desk, all you would say is create a new transaction contact, where you would go put their information in here. Once that's done, you'll see their names right here with everyone else's. I'm going to click Next. We'll see the forms. This is everything we need in that purchase agreement: your earnest money receipt, your arbitration disclosure, personal property agreement, compensation disclosure, lead-based paint disclosure, and your purchase agreement. Now we're going to click Next and go to Documents, and here is something that we need to check on, right? So typically the listing will have supplements uploaded. So some normal supplements we'd see in here would be either the seller disclosures or the seller disclosure alternatives. Now, if this listing had them uploaded on the MLS, which they should, they'd appear right here. But however, it looks like this particular listing we chose does not have any supplements. So one thing I know looking at this is another supplement I am used to seeing on this is the seller-signed lead-based paint addendum. Well, that is typically the seller's responsibility to put in. However, sometimes a good agent has to do both sides of the transaction to get the deal done. So I just want to make sure I have that lead-based paint. Great, it is right there. If not, I would have added it by just simply going right here. You can type in any form you want. I'm going to type in lead, then you can see, yep, there it is. Okay, so just know moving forward with this transaction, if we would not have a valid purchase agreement until I got those disclosures from the sellers. So I would be sure to reach out to the listing agent and just ask if they could send me those disclosures before I sent this offer over. Okay, so if there were documents, those would live here. All our forms are right here, and just like before, we can click in and we can put them together, put all the information in that we need. The next step will be to send these out for electronic signatures. That is going to be a video for the different time. Today was templates, and I feel like we nailed it. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, but I hope this vid does the trick for now.